As this channel takes a new direction, I would like to give recognition to the abolitionists that fought so valiantly to end slavery in the United States of America. John Brown, one of the radical abolitionists, meaning that he was willing to sacrifice his life and his 7 sons' lives. He said that out of the 7 of his sons, if it meant sacrificing all of his sons for the freedom of Africans and their descendants, he said he was willing to do so. For he said, "It is nothing to die in a good cause, but an eternal disgrace to sit still in the presence of the barbarities of American slavery." 4 of John Brown's sons died in combat. Many do not know that for years before the Civil War, John Brown and his sons and other radical abolitionists were fighting in the wilderness and in the mountains of America in guerrilla warfare combat to end slavery. Here's a book that was written by a friend of his who also was an abolitionist, titled Captain John Brown by James Redpath. And this book was written, I believe, a year after John Brown was hung. The date is 1860. John Brown was hung in 1859. So the story that we hear about John Brown, the story that demonizes him, is not truly what happened. And I have republished this book without adding or omitting a word. Listed above are excerpts from the book. To the Browns, killing means simply dying, nothing more. One gate into heaven, and that one a good deal frequented by their family. That is all. Do not imagine that they ask, "What is the world saying of us?" They ask but one question. Does it seem as if freedom were to gain or lose by this? That was all. Their mother spoke the spirit of them all to me next day, when she said, "I have had 13 children, and only 4 are left. But if I am to see the ruin of my house, I cannot but hope that Providence may bring out of it some benefit to the poor slaves." John Brown had a total of 19 children between his first wife and Mary Brown. John Brown and his family were radical abolitionists, meaning that they were willing to and did sacrifice their lives fighting to end slavery. And just as they were about to hang John Brown, abolitionists Wendell Phillips, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Henry D. Thoreau, defenders of the faithful, who, when the mob shouted, "Madman!" said, "Saint!"